You left California last year?
Yes, and I just moved to Phoenix late last year.
What? Okay, so now you got to tell me first. I got to get some history, Jonathan.
Sure.
Now, why did you move from California? Okay, don't tell me the common excuse of it was cheaper. It has to be more than that. I'm pretty sure that was the final, decision, a deal breaker. But on top of that, what was it that made you move?
Well, the reason why I moved out here was because a good job offer from UPS. So they have an inside sales office. So I took the opportunity, and I moved out here, and I'm just glad that I made that right decision.
So it was like business related.
Yes, it was. Yes,
gotcha.
It was for my career and to all business related.
Gotcha. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Look, get your money. That's all it's been about and will always be about getting your money. Of course, family. But, you definitely got to support your family. You need that moolah. Now, so you've been down here about a year, right?
Yeah, about 8 months.
About 8 months. Okay. So how is the dating scene for you?
It's okay. I mean, I've been extremely busy and I've been going to this new church, but the dating scene is not really exciting, so I'm searching right now.
Gotcha. So now the topic that we were, and those are all great things. Now the topic that I brought you in on is the size matter. And I had a friend that she kind of, a listener or a fan. All my fans are friends. So she had a guy that was, took her out several times. They're dating, but the thing was when she got into the bedroom, he fell literally short. So she asked me, what should I do? And I did, went the diplomatic way. And I was like, well, he's doing all this for you. He's doing all that for you. Doesn't that compensate for something? So tell me what your perspective is, if size matters.
Yes, well, I think it does. Unfortunately, it's a materialistic viewpoint of society, but I think it does matter. But in that situation, I believe it's confidence. I mean, you don't have to be extremely big to satisfy your woman, but if you know how to use it, you know how to just basically please that person, then it's all good, But size does matter in the wallet, and size does matter in the bed life, I think. And you either have it or you don't, and if you don't, then you need to make up for it in other areas.
Now, that's a great response, and I'm glad you said that because I was going the diplomatic way, and I was like, he's doing all of these things for you. That should be, I like to weigh pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? You write down the list, and you're like, okay, he's doing this, and does this, and does this, and does this. He has these 5 good things, and this one bad thing, small one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already, like, I'm sure you can work with it. She could, but I would. Look, personally, I would, especially if he's able to fulfill the other needs. And, everything else can be worked through. I mean, there's other things than just penetration that you can encounter with someone. Now, what about now that's too small. Now, do you think that as a man, can a man be too big?
Yes, I believe you can. Well, I'm Caucasian, but I've had no complaints.
I like how you slid that in there, Jonathan, because they have a stereotype about that. So I see how you slide that in there. You slid it in there.
Exactly. Yeah, but I've heard stories that they can be. But if you're sensitive about the other person and you know that person, chemistry on all levels, then it shouldn't be a factor. But I think if it's just a one-time thing or just physical, then it can be. But if you're connected on all levels and you know that person, then I don't think there would be an issue. But
Right. Yeah. Now, I think there is a way that you can be too big. I don't know if I could do somebody that's very well endowed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can do all that. We're going to have to do some serious, Kegel exercises or something like that. Well, that's supposed to make you tighter, so I don't know if that's going to make it any better if he's bigger. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, well, I would definitely thank you for calling in and inquiring about this topic. Did you have any other comments on that?
Not right now, but I think you're doing a great job. And but I mean, size does matter because guys, girls don't want guys who make $30,000-$40,000 a year because that's an indication of your work ethic and your intelligence also. I mean, unfortunately, society looks at what you make, but it's not so much materialistic, but it's just doing the right thing.
You know what? You bring up a good point, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I just wanted to, because this whole topic is not just about being well endowed or not, but also the size of your pockets. And when you were alone, and also thank you for that compliment because you said I was doing well. I appreciate that. I just want to just throw that in there real quick before I forget. But at the same time, moving forward, material, it is when you're. It's easy to say that money doesn't matter, but I mean it doesn't. It really doesn't. But it does. It truly does. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are seriously committed to someone, does money really matter? At the end of the day, if you're solely committed to that person, does money matter? Can the one of the individuals pick up the slack? How strong is that bond? It shouldn't be all about the money. It's not. It shouldn't be. But a lot of people put a lot of focus and a lot of attention on how much a person makes. It does make life easier. Money makes life a lot easier, but at the same time, it can bring a lot of issues too. You know what I'm saying? Like bigger egos. A lot of I feel you can correct me if I'm wrong because you are a guy. That when a man it does something to his ego. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when he brings in a certain amount of money or less of money, that can break his ego if he's not bringing enough money home, because how society and the media portrays the man supposed to be stronger, more successful, he's supposed to be tall, dark, and handsome. They have this portrayal of what a man should be, should do. Sure. Instead of just being a responsible adult, they have this stigma on them, and they're supposed to bring in six figures, So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean not to sound so shallow, but there's girls out there that are gold diggers, but there's girls. I mean, most girls want that security as well. But if you can connect personality wise, and the guy does make good money, then that's just a nice thing on the cake. That's just another bonus. But yeah, it does matter because you want that happiness. You want to go places, and the woman wants to feel secure that the man is doing his job and just being successful.
Exactly. You're exactly right on that. So, real quick, because I'm going to be talking about this later in the show, and you did mention that you're Caucasian, and you do know this whole thing about Rachel Dolezal. Now, how do you feel about that? This is definitely a good question for you because you're a male and you're Caucasian. How do you feel about the whole situation with her, this racial scandal?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that it's all about the person. I believe in interracial dating, and I've done that before, but it just depends on the person. I mean, of course, you're going to have racism out there, but if you put yourself in a good position with good people, and no matter what color you are, but for me, the contrast of color is very appealing, and when you can connect on all levels, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's sweet. But let me ask you this: but what does that have to do with Rachel Dolezal's, her denying who she came from or her nationality, though? I mean,
I'm sorry. Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, no, I had switched it up a bit, and I apologize. Okay. I was saying that, because since you are Caucasian and you're a male, I wanted your perspective on the Rachel Dolezal issue, the racial scandal. Are you aware of it?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so that's why. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for me to explain. The only reason I brought it up is because I was going to introduce this later on in the show. But okay, so let me just go ahead and just spill it out for everyone. So Rachel Dolezal, she was anyway American civil rights activist. She was a formal African studies instructor, and she was part of a local chapter of NAACP. She was like the president. Here's the scandal with that, is that her parents said that, hey, you're not white. You're not black. You're white. You came from white parents. So Rachel Dawes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you remember now? Is it ringing a bell?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
So the reason why they outed her. So I'm going to continue because some of our other listeners may have not, heard of it.
Sure.
So let me just go further with it. So her parents outed her because her parent, on one of the websites and the NAACP websites. The NAACP Facebook website, she had posted a picture up of her father, and her father was African American or /black, saying this is my father. So all this time she's been advocating for the black community. She built a wide range of expertise and advocacy. She represented the black community publicly. She was a spokeswoman on racial influence by the police. So with that being said, what is your intake on that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I have mixed views on it. I mean, I'm not sure if she's telling the truth or not, but visually, I mean, just by seeing pictures, she looks white, and so I trust her. I trust her. What she says, that her father is African American, but it's a touchy subject because I think I filed a lawsuit 10 years ago against somebody for racial tension, but yeah, that's that's kind of a gray area for me. I mean, I just only read about it briefly, but I think if she's telling the truth and if she says what her parents are, then I believe her, because I guess some interracial parents, you look very light skinned but not totally white, I guess.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah. I definitely understand that the mixed feelings with that, because it's like I had stated before. Is that to be admired, or is it a position for her to be called an imposter? You know what I'm saying?
No.
As of right now, the city is looking to see if there has any laws been broken. I've never heard of anyone breaking a law on claiming different nationalities. I mean, unless she mixed up the Census Bureau. You know what I'm saying? But as far as
and then I heard a story that she wanted to be African American too. That was her. That was what was inside her, and so she went after it. And I guess in her little fantasy world, I'm not sure if that's true or not. Maybe she did that. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. I'm not sure of all the facts, but something doesn't sound right.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But we're going to be I'm going to go ahead and go into commercial. And again, I do appreciate you for calling in, Jonathan, and giving us your input. And make sure
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And stay tuned every Tuesday on AmelieRadio.com from 11 p.m. to midnight live. So make sure you call me at 321-529-9499. It's your girl. Stay right there. I'll be right back.
Welcome to AmelieRadio.com, the real home of urban music.
Does your business need exposure? Are you having a party? Is your single or record dropping soon? How will you get the word out? Let AmelieRadio.com be your source. Advertise on this station and have listeners from your state and the surrounding areas hear what's up. Pre-tape a 45-second MP3 formatted commercial detailing your event and submit it 2 weeks prior to your event date. A member of our staff will contact you with further details so your commercial can be played during a Friday airing of AmelieRadio.com. It's that simple. Please submit your commercials and contact information to AmelieRadio@gmail.com. That's IMELITE radio@gmail.com.
$10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. Let's just not even